Hello boys, welcome to my class once again. This is part 6 of Mother's Day. So Doris and Cyril both got alarmed once they heard from their mother that she was going to take leave on Saturday and Sunday and she will only do some work as a favor for which they must request her, and once the work is done, they must thank her for the work that she has given. Now Mrs. Pearson, Doris asked her mother, where will she go for at the weekend? Mrs. Pearson said that she will go somewhere, of course, because she remains stuck at the house day after day, week after week, month after month. No one bothers to take her for a outing. Why can't she go out? She will go out for a change. Doris wanted to know from her mother that with whom will she go. Mrs. Pearson scolded her very badly and said she should mind her own business. That was her personal thing. She will decide with whom to go, where to go. Doris Pearson said, and she told her daughter that she has no right to ask her where she should go and where with whom she should go. Doris said that's a very different thing. And she said that does she ask her when she goes out with someone? Mrs. Pearson said that the thing is that she is a matured woman, a matured lady, much experienced than Doris, and she knows very well what is right, what is wrong. So this type of questioning should be done by Mrs. Pearson to Doris, because Doris is a young girl, she is immature. So and now Doris thought she should ask her mother whether she has hit her head somewhere or not. As I told you, both the children felt that mother was behaving in a very weird manner. So either she has hit her head somewhere and she has lost her consciousness for the time being. So she asked whether she has hit her head somewhere. Mrs. Pearson got very angry. She said no, it was not like that. She hasn't hit her head somewhere, but if Doris doesn't stop asking silly questions, she will surely hit her. This was beyond expectation by Doris, that her mother could say that she will hit her, and that too when she was not a young girl, not a very small child. She was a girl in her 20s. Again she was about to cry and she starts crying. Okay? When Mrs. Pearson sees her daughter crying, instead of trying to comfort her, she starts scolding her. She asks her to stop behaving like a kid and stop crying loudly. And then, in the meantime, when this thing was going on, Doris was crying because she was badly scolded by her mother. The husband, Mr. George Pearson, enters the house. When George Pearson enters, he had heard Doris crying, so he asked, why? What was the matter about crying? Why was she crying? And Doris told her father that in the meantime, within a few minutes, he will come to know what was the matter. And saying this, she ran out of the room. All right? Now in the room was left George Pearson and Mrs. Pearson. Now George Pearson asked Mrs. Pearson what Doris said. Mrs. Pearson very rudely replied that he should ask Doris only. How can she answer what Doris meant to say? Now George Pearson at first hadn't noticed his wife very minutely. Now when he observed her very carefully, he was very surprised to see that in the evening, instead of remaining busy with the household chores, his wife was sitting very comfortably at the table and was drinking stout. So he asked, "What are you doing? Why are you drinking stout now?" Mrs. Pearson very coolly replied, "Because she wanted to, that's why." George Pearson says that, and she said that, "What is wrong? What is wrong with the time? Can't she drink stout in the evening? What is wrong if she drinks it in the evening?" George Pearson said there was nothing wrong, but he had never seen her drink so. Mrs. Pearson said, "Then now he was saying no." So that was the thing. That was the thing that was happening. George Pearson, as I told you, was a very dominating man. He said yes. He has never seen his wife drinking stout in the evening, and today when he sees it, he does not like it. In fact, he does not want his wife to drink stout in the evening. Mrs. Pearson said that if George Pearson is surprised, then that's a nice thing, because there is hardly any surprise left in their life. Everything goes in a very mechanical way. There is no change in the system. When a change occurs in the system, that's become a surprise. So Mrs. Pearson said that it's a nice thing. If George Pearson is surprised by her, that's a good thing, because there should be some changes. George Pearson, on the other hand, very sharply and very rudely told his wife that he does not like surprises. He prefers things to continue as it is continuing in the same manner, in the same process. He does not want any change. He does not want to see any surprise. And then he informed his wife that he won't take tea that evening. He won't take tea. Why? Because he will have to go to his club where there was a snooker match had been arranged, and he will even have had his dinner over there, supper over there, so he won't take any tea. To this, Mrs. Pearson said that's fine, because she has not prepared any. She has not even prepared tea for him. George Pearson got surprised. He said, "What does it mean that she has not prepared tea?" Mrs. Pearson said, "It's a good thing, because the tea won't be wasted. He did not want it, and she has not prepared it. He does not want it, and she has not prepared it, so that's a good thing. It won't get wasted." George Pearson, in a very, you can say, in a very quarrelsome mood, said that is very good, that it won't be wasted, but suppose he would have wanted the tea, in that case, what she should have said? Mrs. Pearson now got very angry. She now told her husband that has he ever tried this thing at the club? That a thing which you don't even want, and just because it has not been prepared, you don't even want it, and it has not been prepared, still you get angry. Why? Because it has not been prepared. Has he ever tried this type of stupid things at the club? She asked. George Pearson said he could not understand, he could not get what she was trying to say. Mrs. Pearson said that she should go to the club, she should go to the bar at the club, tell the waiter that he is very angry with him because he has not prepared a glass of beer for him, which he even does not want to drink, and see the reaction of the waiter, how he behaves. George Pearson said that he just could not understand what Mrs. Pearson was talking about. Mrs. Pearson told that George Pearson, if he does so, he will come to know that people, what they think about him at the club, and they will even laugh more at him than they do now. This was a very shocking revelation for George Pearson. He had no idea that people laugh at his back. So he was very eager to know what was the matter, who laughed at his back. And Mrs. Pearson told that the people at the club, for them, George Pearson is a standing joke. Alright students, we'll continue with the rest in the next video.